Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So in the UK today the weather is absolutely awful, so doing any work out on the driveway is out the window. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to talk about 10 rarest Japanese cars ever made. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in watching, then make sure you stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to the channel for plenty more videos. Car we're going to talk about then is the Nismo 400R. The Nismo 400R was based on the R33 Skyline GTR. It produced, as the name alludes to, 400 brake horsepower, and this was achieved by the RB26 engine being bored and stroked, and it was actually renamed to the RBX GT2 with various different upgrades. The car was set to achieve 0 to 60 in 4 seconds and went on to a top speed of 186 miles per hour. And when I say these cars, only over 44 of these Nismo 400Rs ever. Number 9 then, a car that I'd never heard of before doing research for this video, is the Cosmo 110S or the 110S. So what's special about this Mazda Cosmo? Well, it was the first car that Mazda used their famous rotary engine in, and for that reason it's very rare, very expensive. I couldn't actually find statistics on brake horsepower 0 to 60, but look. So at number 8 then is the Nissan GTR 50 by Ital Designs. I think that's how you say it, it's Ital Designs. So the R35 GTI is one of the longest running sports cars of all time. It's been with us now for like well over 10 years. And to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the GTR badge, Nissan commissioned kind of a one-off production of its GTR. Ital Design took that challenge on and they produced this absolutely awesome looking, although it was controversial at the time, awesome looking GTR. Power was upped to 720 brake horsepower thanks to Nismo, who we've already spoke about. And as the name alludes to, with the 50, only 50 of these cars were ever produced. So in my opinion then, one of the most special supercars ever produced in the 2010s was the Lexus LFA. Now again, this is a car that I didn't know existed, so I started doing research for this video, but the last few of the LFAs were upgraded and they were known as the LFA Nürburgring edition. These Nürburgring editions, although I can't find specifically what's different, they did boast cosmetically a few different looks, like a fixed rear spoiler and a different set of wheels. These cars are incredibly rare and they fetch a hefty price, with recent markets of them selling of £700,000. So at number 6 then. Number 6, we've got the Mazda RX-7 Sprint. The Sprint R was effectively the final edition of the RX-7 FD3 chassis. It boasted a whole range of different upgrades, which included crossed and drilled brakes all around, unique set of wheels and a unique paint colour. The rarest one of these Sprint Rs is actually the Type C, although that is the least desirable one because it boasts rear back seats and an automatic transmission. At number 5 then, although it's not the first generation Skyline, it was effectively the first car to ever hold that famous GTR badge, and it is the Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR, also known as the Hokusuka. I think that's how you say it. All the JDM people are going to be killing me here. This car absolutely dominated the racing championships of its day, and a tradition that was carried on by all its successor cars in the R32, the R33, the R34 and the R35. Yeah, it's also a very rare car, and combining them two things does make it a very, very, very expensive car indeed. So that is our number 5. One of the most sought after cars then is our car that's at number 4, and that is the Toyota 2000G. It's probably one of the most beautiful cars to ever come out of Japan. and its design was actually inspired by the Jaguar E-Type. It boasts 150 brake horsepower from its 2-litre inline-6 engine, and only 351 of these cars were ever produced. And prices of these cars are absolutely out of control. That's presuming you can find one to sell, because I've struggled massively to find one of these cars for sale. Number 3. At number 3 then, we've got the Honda NSX R GT. Now we're going to be doing a spec check review on the Honda NSX. If you don't know what spec check reviews are, that is a series I've launched this year. Currently only filmed one video, but head over to that now to check it out. But Honda NSX is the next one coming. The Honda NSX R GT then. So the Honda NSX massively changed the supercar world in effect. First, and it was kind of the world's first dailyable supercar. The NSX-R was made for those that weren't really bothered about doing the daily drive a bit in the car, and the NSX-R GT was built to comply with JGTC regulations, which said you had to produce 5 roller going versions of your race car. Now, I've actually struggled massively to find any pictures of the NSX-R GT in its flesh, and I've only managed to find pictures at the time of filming anyway, so it might be different, of the NSX-R GT in video games. That's how rare these cars are. To my knowledge, Honda did only make the 5 that they were required to make to meet the homologation regulations. So that is our number 3. Now, the first generation Z cars, or Z cars, the first generation was called the 240Z, and it was one of the biggest sports car successes to come out of the 60s and the 70s, and it sparked a massive legacy of Z cars to follow. But the most valuable of all these Z cars is undeniable 432 version. It was based on the 240Z, and it boasted the same engine as the Nissan 2000 GT Hokusuka, which we previously spoke about, and only 420 units were produced, and one recently sold in America for $1 million. So undeniably, this is one of the rarest and most expensive Japanese cars. So number 1, our big one, number 1. Number 1 is the R34 Skyline GTR Z Tune. Now, pretty much these days, all R34 GTR Skylines are massively valuable. But the Z Tune, with only 19 cars being produced, is the most valuable. It was actually produced a few years after this R34 went out of production, and the car was fully hand built by Z Tune, producing 500 brake horsepower and a theoretical top speed of 203 miles an hour. So this is our number 1 rarest Japanese car ever made. So I hope you like this video then. Like I say, I've literally thrown it together this morning as an idea after reading a few articles online about JDM cars. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. Comment down below if you agree with everything that I've said or you disagree. Make sure you follow me on Instagram to find out what I'm up to in between making videos. It's at FTLockUK, link down below in the description. But until next time guys, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.